Hi, this is Sifu Fernandez and I'd like to welcome you to the WingTchunDo course, and this is provided to you by the Wing Chun University, and Wing Chun University is part of everything Wing Chun. So it's exclusive and it's a protected site, meaning that everything that you will see, or the footage that you will see, it is part of your private server, which is provided to you by Everything Wing Chun. So they are a very good website, and they look after the archives of Wing Chun. And just to present to you a little bit about myself and the reasons why I decided to participate in this course is for various reasons. Well, one, the owners of Everything Wing Chun, in particular Aaron, who I know pretty well, very friendly guy, very patient guy, and I guess if it wasn't for him and maybe a couple of other people, I wouldn't even be here talking to you, simply because for a long time I didn't believe that doing courses online or teaching martial arts online was really of any benefit. And I was proven wrong by one of my students in America, whose name is Sifu Jody Hill, and he, even though I went there, did a seminar, met all the students, he started asking me for lessons on Skype, and then he asked me for video lessons that I would prepare for him personally, which I would send to him, and they proved to be, to my surprise, really beneficial. I really didn't expect that it would work. So when I started seeing visually the results, it convinced me, and I said, oh, I'll give it a try. The other reason is because there is an urgency, almost or a sense of urgency, that there are people and also other Wing Chun families that are trying their best to preserve the art of Wing Chun. So I will tell you a little bit about Wing Chun, my perspective of Wing Chun, and then that way, when you start studying what I do, you have a better understanding of the open-mindedness that I like to try and portray. One, I guess because I started when I was 7 years old, so it was in 1972, just a few months before the Wing Chun Academy in Australia opened. So for those of you who know me, my first family in Australia, I'd like to say a big hello. To the ones I can remember, they were all Sifus: Sifu Karen Armstrong, Sifu Graham what's his surname? Not Kearns, but Kirshner. There was Graham Kirshner, Sifu Albert, Sifu Tony Salia, who is now one of the current head teachers in Australia and also a good friend of mine. They all come from the Grandmaster Tsuishung Tin lineage, and they were my first family, and I still consider them my family. I still have my life membership with them. So Grandmaster Tsuishung Tin, I had the opportunity to do some seminars with him when I was very young. I went to visit him in Hong Kong as well, and very humble person and very special person. He is very good in body structure. His Wing Chun is very powerful, and I got a lot out of that. You got to understand, I was with that family tree, sporadically for about 20, maybe 22 years. So if I started in 1972, yeah, about 20 odd years, and and I met a lot of interesting people. And I guess what I'd like to point out is that even though from one family tree I went to another one, I moved to the Grandmaster Leung Ting lineage as well, and from there I found more of, I guess because I was a young man, I really desired to get more into combat. So it's not, I guess at the time I was too young to understand or appreciate the inner workings I had already developed with Grandmaster Chun, because being young, I wanted to get out there and test myself and fight and whatnot. So I guess I found what I was looking for, and I paid a heavy price because it really it was heavy, because we really used to virtually beat the crap out of each other, and that taught me a different type of Wing Chun. Moving on, I moved on to moving into Europe, and I was able to train with other masters like Grandmaster Kernspect. Had the opportunity to train with Master Emin Bostepe, and a lot of people I could name that I trained with personally. And eventually I moved to China, going to train with Grandmaster Leung Ting, and you know, I have the proof, it's on this video. I was probably one of the first people to teach Leung Ting's students, and they were very interested in my way of applying Wing Chun in combat situations. And I guess I have a lot of experience, not so much in ring fighting, because I don't profess myself to be a great fighter in the ring, or I don't profess myself to be a great fighter in the MMA. I'm not really specialized in that area, but I'm more specialized in security work, close quarter contact, you know, in the security work, which I've been doing basically for 20 years, and sometimes we're looking at doing 6 nights on 7, and it's really heavy, because a lot of times, especially in Italy, and I'll be talking about this in a separate video, by the way. A lot of times I had to work on my own, so that wasn't easy. You know, doing the door for many years on your own, really, it's hard work. So I've had a lot of front up experience in many situations, and so what I've done is I've created this course, which is part of the Wing Chun University. And I know it's quite long, but I have a lot to teach, and the course will also be evolving. There are updates, new programs, new developments, because just to make you understand as well, this is also my point of view. I've had the opportunity to talk with various Sifus, especially those who research the history. So I've had, you know, chats on Facebook with Sifu Benny Meng, and in particular, you know, personally I've met Sifu Yadarola, attended one of his seminars, and then we had a very long one-on-one for about 4 hours where we just talked about history, Wing Chun, and you know, so I've talked to various peoples, and I guess what my point is here, and this is very important for you to understand, is that there are a lot of people who fix their ideas that there is only one type of Wing Chun. Now, whether you agree with me or not, I guess, you know, I can't help that, but I don't agree with that. There are many different types of Wing Chun, and if you look at the lineages historically, you can see that there is small evidence that Wing Chun could have been around even 400 years ago. A lot of people talk about 250 years, and a lot of people concentrate specifically on the Grandmaster Yip Man lineage, which, you know, I feel I'm part of that lineage as well. However, even though I trained a lot and I keep my loyalties to the Grandmaster Yip Man lineage, you know, I have evolved and looked at other scenarios, and I feel they were of benefit. When I look at a situation, I always apply it, reapply it, and I look at it at the focus of a one-on-one situation, direct contact, self-defense, how I would react in a real situation when my life, you know, when I feel that my life is under threat. That's my main objective in trying to teach you the best possible Wing Chun, only and specifically for self-defense. I can't teach something that I'm not good at. So, you know, I have done for many years, actually I worked it out the other day, about 30 years of boxing, but I did so much, I did about 10 years of boxing, and then the other 20 I integrated it with my Wing Chun training. So I found that boxing has really helped me a lot, and also has made me understand Wing Chun as well. So the things that we'll be looking at is Wing Chun programs that I learned from the lineages, either from the Grandmaster Chun Tin, Sifu Jin Fung, who died a few years ago, who was my direct Sifu as well. Also, you know, the Grandmaster Leung Ting lineage, and also the European Wing Chun lineage from the Leung Ting lineage as well. So there are many things that I've managed to put together, and I've extended it and called it WingTchunDo. Now, WingTchunDo is really bridging the gap to other systems, alright, other fighting systems. It helps you understand how Wing Chun combined with Chi Sao, and terminology that I'll be using a lot, which is called body mechanics, and another two terms that I've been criticized because I mix my Italian words with English, and I use, if you ever hear me using the word articulations a lot, what I'm talking about is joints and ligaments. Nevertheless, I went on the dictionary and I found that even in English, articulations exists, but it's not a word that's commonly used. So just remember, when you hear articulation, I'm talking about joints and your ligaments. And what I want to achieve is to ensure that you understand body mechanics, the functionality of every ligament and joint, and the motor actions that are combined with these joints, and how they function at the best of their ability. So we're going to be looking at the whole body structure, you know, from head to foot, looking at the whole spinal column, the vertebrae, how they function, and how they, you know, for example, you know, just a twisting motion can make you formulate a ton cell with a punch. So these are a lot of the things that we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at many types of defenses against, you know, maybe sticks or clubs, knives. We're going to be looking at defenses against, you know, 3 people, 3 on 1. We're going to look at street-wise defense as well. What happens on the street when we argue, when we get at close range, how to protect ourselves. We're going to be looking at all the Chi Sao sections that I learned from the Grandmaster Leung Ting lineage, all the Butzi sections, all the wooden dummy, the formulations and extensions of the what we call advanced wooden dummy applications and wooden dummy Chi Sao, okay, which is quite different to the wooden dummy sections that you normally see. Wooden dummy Chi Sao, the way it's been developed through our programs, is very, very beneficial. So once again, everything that I do, I always apply it to very, very basic principles, and they are combat principles, and they also, you know, unite with the theories of how things were used, you know, possibly 400 years ago, but even 200 years ago. And, you know, we keep the mentality very traditional, and we try and, what we do, we apply it in modern day situations. Because WingTchunDo is a way of bridging the gaps to other systems, that means, for example, I can teach you boxing, basic boxing moves, and teach you how to Wing Chun it. What do I mean? How boxing can not only hit, but it can use Chi Sao principles, diversion principles, etc., etc. I do this with a form of grappling that we use as well. We do a form of ground fighting as well, and stand-up grappling, going to the ground, and looking at how to recycle energy at any point and with any weight distribution. So there is no fixation in the system. It is an interpretation that I have developed training many different systems, and you've got to understand that I come from a background where I've done Filipino Kali, I've done basics on ground fighting, you know, stand-up grappling, if you want to call it that, so we can get people into levers, security levers. That's another topic we're going to be talking about as well, basic security work, and then we're going to be moving on to more advanced security work as well. And that's it really. They are all the main things. So you will learn, let's say, the whole system that Grandmaster Leung Ting will teach you, and I teach it to you methodically, all the Chisar sections, how to apply it into combat. I'm going to be showing you combat applications, new developments, new ideas, inventions that are made to help you keep the close range combats. And that's about it really. I don't think there's much else I can add to that, except for the fact that WingTchunDo is an evolving program. So once this course is finished, you will find that there are updates all the time, so we will always keep you informed. And of course, as people have been doing already, people have already been emailing me and asking me questions, asking for help, and even there is the chance that you can be certified in this course as well, which is very important. And you can get an academic certification, and you also can get a proper qualification to teach and open your own school, and hopefully be part of our WingTchunDo community. So having said that, I welcome you to this course, and thank you for your time, and I hope that you will enjoy everything we have to teach you. So I'll next move on to the next video, which is going to talk about fighting, and I'm going to give you the best advice on how to deal with actual fighting. Alright, not talking about street fighting. So we'll see you in the next one.